I'd like to actually make sure that I say something about this wonderful organization, the Club of Madrid. I am a founding member of the Club of Madrid. I actually was its Secretary General for 3 years. I'm now just happy to be a member, and I do projects. But all of the things that we're talking about are things that the Club of Madrid really embodies. When we created the organization, as I said for lunch the other day, we had, I think, something like 35 members. We're now over 90. We keep saying we should cap our membership, but then we find good people. And, you know, as one of the first Prime Minister of Canada once said, if you want me to build a better cabinet, you have to send me better wood. And to somebody who says we should have more women, just elect more women presidents and prime ministers with good democratic credentials, and as soon as they're out of office, we nab them. The proportion of women in the Club of Madrid is very much a reflection of people out there. But I just want to say something about this group of people because I've come to love them very much. And one of the things that we enjoy about our annual meeting is the opportunity to get together and see one another. And, you know, Sadiq El-Mahdi, one of the originals, I mean, Joaquin Chizano is just a hero in his country. Their stories of each of these members is terrific. But what we're able to do, these are not people who are backward looking. They're all looking forward. How can we make changes? We're committed to democratic governance, and we understand the importance of good governance for making change. And we're constantly looking for issues where we can use our capacities to make progress. Sometimes it's convening power. In 2005, and on the anniversary of the Madrid bombings, we used our convening power to bring together the largest group of security experts ever convened in Madrid for the Madrid Summit on Democracy, Terrorism, Security that produced the Madrid Agenda, and it's a very important contribution to the debate on how to deal with terrorism. But what's interesting is that our members have all sorts of different talents, and when we talk about the advancement of women, we've been involved in the advancement of women really right from the beginning, and our male members are deeply committed to this because they're smart people and they get it. And it's interesting because the women members, we go and we do projects, and for women in different parts of the world, we're often kind of we're the inspiration. Mary Robinson and I went in 2009 to launch a program on peace and security for women in peace and security in the Horn of Africa, and it was wonderful. But our male members go as well, and they participate, and they create a safe space for women in these countries to meet with leaders in their government, because who's going to give a hard time to the former Prime Minister of Norway, to the former Prime Minister of Romania, to the former Prime Minister of Latvia? And our members, our member Valdis Burkhovs from Latvia led our mission working with East Timor, which involved a number of our other members as well. You'd say, what does a Latvian have to know about East Timor? Well, small countries dominated by large neighbors finally get their independence. They have a diaspora that returns, doesn't speak the native language, all sorts of interesting things. And Jose Ramos Horta is now a member of the Club of Madrid. He's out of office, but he was very grateful for that. I just give you one example because I could tell you stories, but in our programs to deal with the empowerment of women, I remember I went on a mission one time with Serketumili Maziri, the former president of Botswana. And if you know anything about African politics, you know he's highly, highly respected as an African leader, and he's a darling. And we went off to Sierra Leone to meet with people in government and civil society and the media to encourage the participation of women in politics. So I go as the former Prime Minister of Canada, and so I'm the one the women look to and say, yeah, you know, this is great, you can do it. But I'm not really somebody they necessarily relate to. They're inspired by it. But Serket is the guy who is the very respected African leader who says to them, you know, if you're not using your women, if you're not giving the women empowerment, you're walking on one leg. And so it's this combination of people. And so I want to say about the Club of Madrid, we actually had our governing meeting this week. Before the conference started, and we approved a new relationship. And you heard Liz Broderick talk, whether it was today or yesterday, about she's the gender relations person in Australia, the dynamic, wonderful thing of what they're doing there and how she brought business leaders together to be instruments for change. Well, we have just created a relationship with a wonderful Australian business leader, Clive Palmer, to increase our relationship with the business community, because we work with civil society, we work with government agencies and development agencies around the world and the European Commission, but we realize that we need to reach out and work more with the business community. And so Clive Palmer has become a supporter of the Club of Madrid, and we're going to work with him in trying to see how we can work with that part of the triangle of people being involved. So I just want to say that the Club of Madrid, like all organizations, gets a lot of requests to do things, and we have lots of project money that comes. So we do, like every other organization, need core funding, and Clive Palmer's contribution is going to be important. But I say to people, When you contribute to the Club of Madrid, what you get is over 3,000 years of political experience among our members. This is true. Over 3,000 years of political experience, which they give for nothing. Our members do not get paid when they tromp around the world to work for this.
No,
you are leveraging something important and unique, and we are eager to hear from all of you who are deeply committed to progress, your ideas of how we might partner with you to use this remarkable, unique resource, the largest forum of democratic leadership in the world. And we are free, we're independent, we have no agenda, we have no axe to grind, except to make the world a better place. And we're thrilled that we were here in Little Rock with our annual meeting and annual conference to be able to work with you. And I have to say that I've heard some wonderful, practical, concrete things that we're going to think about how we can maybe work with our private sector partners, government partners, to advance women. And I'm going to be quiet now, but Stephen Sacker, I live a lot in France, and I watch him on BBC World on Hard Talk, and he's fantastic, but you're a pussycat as his moderator.
I might have interrupted by now, but